work on.
So we can look at that new 20 acres, 20 of the 40, and we can do a full overlay and just where it would go.
Design, lay, try to figure out a lot of issues and mitigating factors that we know will come up as you look at the topography and different things and layout and challenges that will come.
Well, I certainly think that the feasibility study is something that we should look at, because then it'll give us the data and the information.
Yeah, we have one other.
Oh, sorry.
Before we get too far down the road, just so all parties are aware, we don't own that land yet. And SITLA has to go through some public hearings before it can approve. We've tentatively approved the terms, but the soonest that we could close on that wouldn't be till April 19th.
Okay.
Wow.
Just so.
And that's fine. It's contingent upon the final closing.
One thing we talked about, who is going to oversee said feasibility study?
So
That was supposed to be in the write-up that you didn't put in.
We failed, Brian. That's 2 failures on my part. Good thing I've got a 3rd strike. So in talking to Orden,
Don't fall on this sword.
don't fall on this sword. All right.
Brian Dangerfield, Director of Leisure Services and Events. We've identified the funds. We have the funds. We know that things still need to happen, but we didn't want to go too far down the road. We wanted to do a feasibility study to see if this is even going to work. The piece is very enticing. It looks great. But we want to make sure that we do all the proper background and do this. And that's where we're at right now. However long it takes to finally get the property or when we start playing. I mean, obviously we want to do it as soon as we can, but I think Derek and Terry would agree that we want to do this right, wherever these fields end up being.
So control the study.
Yeah. So back to who was actually going to.
So in talking with UISA, it'll be the city that controls it. And the reason being is where UISA has just got the small portion, and they understand and they trust the city's judgment on choosing and selecting the people that will do the study.
So we need to go through the RFP
Correct.
and that whole process.
Correct.
Okay.
So there, as enticing as it was, they didn't want to look at the responsibility of going, hey, here's 20 acres that the city's going to develop, and all we really care about is 2 fields, and take on that responsibility. So they said, let the city do it. We'll look at it. We'll contribute, and go from there. So
Okay.
that answers
So
the question.
next question: what happens when the feasibility study comes back? The RFP comes back at being substantially more than $10,000.
We figure out other funding mechanisms. If I have to throw in a little bit of money, I will.
Okay.
So
And we now have you on record saying that.
that's fine. That'll come back to my wife, and I'll have to suffer. So yeah.
That'll be strike 3.
Yeah, no, that's strike 1 with my wife. Different inning.
While I have no control over the committee that he's on, I just sit in as an advisory position. I can assure you that the mindset of the field committee, the legacy field committee that Derek is the chair of, will be glad to pony up some more money as well if necessary. I mean, within reason. I mean, if thing comes out to $100,000, we're on it. You're on your own. But if it's a couple $1,000s more, I'm sure that we can dip in and get some more funds out of there as well. So Derek wouldn't need to out of pocket it. So, okay.
I'll run it through CCFC. It'll be a business expense. They're a nonprofit.
It's just a lot more fun having you on record saying all of these things. So.
It's better than a lot of stuff I'm on record for.
All right. Are there any other?
Well, yes, I have a question. So obviously in this work meeting, if we do move this on, well, if there's action next week on this, would it have to be with the motion that obviously none of this can happen until everything is fully finalized?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be a nice suggestion.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks,
All right.
Derek.
Thank you. Are there any other comments, questions? Not? Will somebody?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's times like that I really miss Fred because he was on top of it.
Happy birthday,
That
Ron.
was your birthday gift, Ron.
Yeah.